What is good, everybody? So, Saints versus Bears this weekend. Huge game in terms of the Saints have a chance to get over that 500 mark. Also, a really big game for head coach Dennis Allen. He has a chance for the first time in his head coaching career to have a winning record this deep into a season. He didn't do it with the Raiders, he didn't do it last year with the Saints. He has a chance to actually be a winning coach this deep into the season. So, big game for multiple reasons. Saints also have a chance to maybe take the lead for first place in the NFC South. We don't know how the Falcons will do with their new quarterback this week or how the Buccaneers will perform. So, again, big game for the Saints for multiple reasons. And with all that being said, here are my 5 keys to victory for the Saints versus the Bears this Sunday. And these are in no particular order, but number 5, the Saints are going to have to pass the ball to win this game. Listen, guys, the Bears have a really good run defense. They're number 1 actually in the league. They only allow 3.3 yards per attempt, which is really good. And in their last 3 games, they've only allowed 2.3 yards per attempt, which is insane. It's almost unheard of. So Bears have a really good run defense. And on the flip side, the Saints are number 27 in the league. They only average 3.6 yards to attempt. So right there, the numbers aren't in the Saints' favor. Now, obviously, anything goes on Sundays with NFL teams. But that right there is a mismatch. The Bears defense is really good. The Saints are going to have to pass the ball. Derek Carr is going to have a good game for the Saints to score some points in this one. Number 4, the defense cannot get ran on. Last week was ugly. Now, obviously, the Bears don't have Jonathan Taylor on their roster, but they have Deontay Foreman, who, is not necessarily one of the better backs in the league, but he is more than capable of having a huge game at any moment's notice. Now, the Bears are number 5 in the NFL at 4.6 yards per attempt. Now, I imagine a lot of that has to do with Justin Fields. Obviously, Justin Fields is not on the field. No pun intended, but still, they average 4.6 yards per attempt, which is good for number 5 in the league. And the Saints' run defense obviously hasn't been good. Last week, they allowed 6.8 yards per attempt to the Colts. Now, obviously, like I said before, that is Jonathan Taylor. But over the season, they are number 23 in the league, letting up 4.3 yards per attempt. So the Saints defense is going to have to play with some discipline, play very gap sound, and not allow the Chicago Bears team to run the ball all over them, because that's what the Bears are going to want to do. Obviously, they're starting a rookie quarterback. The Bears are going to try to run the ball, control the clock, and somehow escape with a win. The Saints cannot allow them to do that, especially you never know how our offense is going to perform. If the offense has another one of the days and the Bears rushing attack gets going, it might get ugly. So defense, got to stop the run. Number 3, Pete Carmichael, keep it going, baby. I liked what I seen last week. I liked what I seen a little bit of the Jacksonville game in the week prior. But last week, I liked what I see, especially got Alvin Kamara the ball in space on some actual routes, was a lot more creative in the route concepts and the designs. Did run it a few too many times on 2nd and long for my liking, but overall, huge improvement last week from what we've seen throughout the prior games this season. So Pete Carmichael, number 3, keep it going. Number 2, offensive line, keep playing well. Last week was probably the best performance of the season. Now, I am interested to see how they're going to, line things up this week. James Hurst is back in the lineup. I don't know if they're going to put him at left guard, left tackle. Are they going to kick Andres Pete back into left guard and have Hurst go to left tackle? I'm very curious to see what they roll out with, but nonetheless, the offensive line keep playing well. They played decent for the past 2 games. That Jacksonville, that was pretty patchwork as it gets. But last week against the Colts, I thought they played really well. Ryan Remchek had his best game of the season. Pete looked, I don't want to say good at left tackle, but he looked decent enough. So like I said, I am pretty curious on what they're going to do with Hurst being back in the lineup. But nonetheless, offensive line, keep it rolling, keep that momentum going, keep playing well, because obviously if the offensive line is playing bad, the whole offense is going to play bad. And then number 1, keep it simple, win the turnover battle, right? The Chicago team really has no way of victory unless the Saints give it to them, right? The Saints don't have a single game this year without a turnover. I'd like to see them change that. Play a clean game, no interceptions, no fumbles, nothing like that. Clean game, no turnovers. Let's make it happen. Like I said, don't give this Chicago Bears team, who is far inferior talent-wise, don't give them any chance to win this game, and the Saints should come out with a victory in this one. As far as a game prediction, now the Bears and the Saints are actually tied for number 17 in the league. They both score 21.4 points a game. Now, obviously, a lot of those games was with the Bears having Justin Fields, but nonetheless, 21.4 points per game is what both of these teams score. But Chicago's defense on average gives up 27.3 points per game, and the Saints 19.3, although they have, given up a little more over the last few weeks. But nonetheless, this I don't see any reason why this should be a close game, right? You have a Chicago Bears team who is 2-6. They don't have their starting quarterback. The quarterback that they're going to be playing, looked okay in his first start, but last week he looked really, really bad. If the Saints lose this game, it is absolutely a fireable offense. If they lose to the Chicago Bears team, fire everybody. But score prediction, I think I would be disappointed if the Saints I'd be disappointed if the Saints won by anything less than 10 points, right? They have to win this game by more than 10 points. I'm going to go Saints 28 because I do think they will get ahead early and run the ball, run the clock out. So I'm going to go Saints 28, Chicago Bears 10. And that is my final score prediction. As usual, appreciate you guys watching.